everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Shop Adventures, my weekly excursion where I leave the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ and search for a bounty of comics, graphic novels, action figures, collectibles, and all things in between. First things first, time to talk about what stood out from last week's bounty, and it was a really good pull. That last week, the books that really stood out, Dead Man Logan was great. Here at the midway point in this section of the story, just kind of tying up everything. Logan meets the old man Logan from that universe meets the main continuity Logan, and it's just really good. I really enjoyed it. Batman was very good. With it kind of being, it's kind of where it was like told, like it was almost like a dream sequence of Clark and Bruce wondering where like Lois and Selena were, and they're having like a girls' night, and it was just really entertaining. And it was a fun issue, and above all else, it was Amanda Conner art, and I love her artwork, and she's a tremendous person on top of that, so I'm a big Amanda Conner fan. But then at the very end of it, we have this fun issue, and then something very, very serious happens that prepares you for the for the next issue, and it's like, holy shit, you have all this fun, and then you get like the gut punch of it being like something serious was happening, which was causing all of that. Can't give out too many more details, but it was, I really enjoyed it. It was very, very well told. And then Detective Comics was also very good with, having like a Man-Bat was in that, and then some parts were a little confusing, but they're confusing not really in the sense of I don't want to read this. They were more so confusing in that I have questions and I want to read the next issue for the questions to be answered. So, but yeah, I thought it was really cool how they the events just kind of unfolded, and their Man-Bat was there, and then eventually the Arkham Knight, and it's feels like something like was medieval, and I don't know what's going on, but then we get to the conclusion, I'm like, you want to know what's going on, and you feel like with the way the story is told, you will get those answers as the story unfolds. If you don't, then I'll come back and eat my words and say that it just wasn't a very good issue. But for right now, I'm confused but intrigued, and I think that's a very, very good quality in comic books. But everything for the most part was pretty well done. It was very very good pull. It was a big one, but it was very good, and those were my top 3 books. But I will see you when I get back here to Athletic Geek HQ with this week's bounty. Hey everyone, I am back here at the homestead here at Athletic Geek HQ. Compared to last week, I got quite the small bounty this week, but still looks like a pretty decent one, and let's get right to it. The first book on the list is Batman number 69, and with the fallout that I mentioned earlier of Batman from last week, gonna get some quick satisfaction on the conclusion where this is all leading. Just gonna see what all that imagery that we saw and how it was affecting Batman. We'll see where it all leads, and how it involves Selena, and if maybe, just maybe, there's still hope for the thing that way back in the summer pissed me off about this whole Batman run from Tom King. If maybe, just maybe, we get a better resolution at the end of it. I don't know. We will see. But Batman number 69 is the first book on the pull list this week. And from there we go to Nightwing number 59. And it's okay. I mean, it's written by Dan Jurgens, and Dan Jurgens is the epitome of okay to me. He's not a bad writer by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, he's pretty good. He did The Death of Superman, but he's really hit and miss. And his Nightwing, it's not terrible, but I'm not really feeling it. Granted, I'm a Nightwing fan because of Dick Grayson, and now they're going in a completely different direction with this book. And it's not bad enough that I'm thinking of canceling this book, but it's also not something that it really gets me giddy, in a sense, to read whenever I get it as part of my pull list. So, like I said, it's much like, and this is with all due respect, much like Mr. Jurgens himself, it's okay. It's okay. But either way, go check it out, because I am a Nightwing fan, and if Dick comes back to, reprising his alter ego of Nightwing, I probably should be reading this right now, if and when that happens. Hopefully it happens soon. Nightwing number 59. From there we go to Justice League number 22, and it's another Legion of Doom-centric issue. Goes to Tanny in the fourth instead of Scott Snyder, but these issues have all been pretty good so far, and not really a whole lot needs to be said. They, they kind of focus more on the villain side of things. They use, since it's comes out, bi-weekly, they use one issue of the bi-weekly book to kind of focus more on the villains and give you more backstory, and I think that's not a bad idea, because sometimes, not all, but sometimes when books come out more than just once a month, you kind of run the risk of overkill and writer's block and all these different things. So by doing it this way, it kind of keeps the Justice League stories a little more fresh, and it gives you some good insight to the villains. It says on the cover, the origin of the multiverse will be revealed, so we'll see. We'll see what this newest Legion of Doom-centric issue will bring us. Justice League number 22. From there, let's go to the world of Marvel. We go to Daredevil, number 4, and, spoiler warning coming up. Just kind of close your ears for the next couple seconds if you don't want to be spoiled with the Punisher being revealed at the very end of the last issue of Daredevil. But despite me not being the world's biggest Punisher fan, I'm very intrigued to see where things go from here with the Punisher entering Daredevil's life among all the other things that are going on in Matt Murdock's life right now. I've enjoyed Zdarsky's run on this book so far, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what more he has in store for the Man Without Fear and what his vision will bring us. I've enjoyed these first 3 issues of Zdarsky's run a lot more than I have the whole run of Charles Soule's take on Daredevil, and that's not a knock on Charles Soule or you guys if you enjoyed Charles Soule's run. But the fact of the matter is, I just feel like this guy, Chip Zdarsky, writes it better. I really do. So that could change. Something could happen, and I could be eating my words and, having a big old plate of crow here on the Comic Shop Adventure. But for right now, Daredevil is now back up to a book that I really get excited about, whereas under the previous writer, it was just kind of there. So Daredevil number 4. From there we go to Thor number 12, and the War of the Realms has begun. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to peek at the end of this book to see if it's going to actually be told in a way to where I can keep up with it. Because if I have to buy another book that I'm not reading, I'm just going to put it back in the backer board and stash it away, and then wait until this crossover event is over and then resume reading. And that's, someone asked me why I'm still picking up the book. Well, I am a collector, and I am still kind of a completionist with especially this Jason Aaron Thor run. So it would kind of be a waste of money. I'd maybe get like the trade or something so I could read them all. But yeah, I just really don't want to pick up, 2 or 3 new books temporarily just for right now. It's just not something I'm a big fan of doing. I've made certain exceptions in the past, but it's just not something I really want to do at this point in time. But if it's just kind of a tie-in and I can follow this section of the story just with Thor, and I don't need to be reading the other books, then cool. I'll read it just like I read Thor any other time. But this is going to be a rare instance ever since I had to, start having a pull list and quit just getting the inconsistent books at the grocery store or at Walmart or Kmart or anything like that. This will be a rare time where I have to go look and go, oh, the end, or continued in Thor, or if it says continued in something else, fortunately I'm going to have to put it away. But yeah, I like Jason Aaron Thor, and I want to collect the whole set, so Thor number 12. And finally, the last book as part of this week's bounty is Uncanny X-Men number 16. It's decent. It's not great, but it's definitely not on the chopping block anymore, as you remember from the past. You know, as I said last time, it was a nice little blend of, you know, modern X-Men storytelling, but still they kind of bring in that part of that 90s that, you know, I have a soft spot for. So I feel like they're doing a better job now writing this. We'll see if they can continue doing a decent enough job to keep this on my pull list. And yeah, that is pretty much it for my bounty this week. Let me know what you picked up from your local comic shop in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Check out other videos, not just from the world of comic books, but from the world of pro wrestling, gaming, and all things geek culture. Go like the Facebook page at facebook.com/athleticgeek89 for more content, including, it's back now, my collection comic of the week that I post every Thursday, where I review and talk about my personal feelings with one of the thousands of comics that I have in my collection. But other than that, I'm out. Y'all be cool.